put up a top 20 all-time performance. Why you should watch again next year. I'm going to try and do that sort of a statistical analysis, and that should be up. I'll be ready for that sometime next week. So, otherwise, it was a fantastic meet. I want to thank everybody who went there with me. It was myself, my fiancée Janice, who handled for me and did a fantastic job and took good care of me over all 4 days. David Peterson, who allowed us to use a condo that absolutely made traveling to this meet and doing this meet feasible, and handled for both of us, myself and the other competitor from our team, Nate Pogue, and did a fantastic job as well. And also my teammate Nate, who did 13:45 in just knee sleeves at 165 with a 480 squat, I believe a 264 bench, and a 600-pound deadlift, his first 600-pound deadlift. And so he had a fantastic meet as well. That's a really impressive number at 165. And so I want to thank those folks. I also want to thank my team, University of Iowa Powerlifting, for being so supportive, helping me get through this meet, helping me prepare for this meet, always giving me good feedback and honest feedback, which is something that's missing on a lot of teams. A lot of teams don't tell one another what they need to hear, and I feel like my team is willing to do that, and that certainly helps me. I want to thank 22nd Street Barbell, which has become sort of like my home gym away from home, let me put it that way. I don't train there very often, but I know a lot of the members on that team now, and they've become friends of mine. They had a couple of members from their team competing at this meet, Wes Keith and Jerry Rodriguez, and they both did very well. And so it was nice being around those guys. It has been really nice being in constant dialogue with those guys. And so I want to thank all of them for their support. I want to thank lifters around the state of Iowa for their support. I want to thank my subscribers on YouTube. It feels weird calling people subscribers because I don't really think of this channel as a channel. This is just me posting lifting videos and trying to promote powerlifting and trying to get people interested in doing meets, because it's something that I love and I want to share that with other people. And apparently I have too much free time, so I end up like doing this stuff all the time. But so to me, it's not like I've got subscribers. I've just got other people who enter into my life because of a shared interest, and I enjoy being in dialogue with those people. I met a few of them that weekend, which was kind of cool, and then I went back home and I had to like look up their YouTube username, because I didn't know who they were when I talked to them, because somebody would give me a name and I'm like, well, I don't know who you are, and oh yeah, you're fit for life, and we've had plenty of conversations. So that was kind of cool, actually. I really enjoyed that. And so I want to thank the people that post on my videos, whether it's supportive or sometimes critical. I like good, honest feedback, and I like entering into an honest discussion with people. So it doesn't always have to be positive, but I like being in dialogue with people. So I want to thank all those folks, and just in general everybody out there who I talk to, who gives me feedback, gives me advice. I feel like I have a support system around me in powerlifting that I've never really experienced before, and it just makes me feel like I'm a part of something, a part of a community that I haven't ever previously been a part of. And I think for me, that's the most special part about the entire experience. And honestly, when I did the 14:05 total, I felt nothing. I was not really excited about the total at all. The number's cool, and I've been working for it for over a year, but when I think about the meet now, I think about being able to meet people that I had talked to previously, and having good experiences with other people and sharing something that we all love. And that's kind of what's resonating with me. And I honestly didn't think it would be that way. I thought that this is something that people with bigger hearts than me experience, and that it wouldn't be something that I would experience. But that's kind of how the meet has turned out for me. You know, I was happy for Eric Talmont when he beat me, and I didn't think that I would feel that way, but I was rooting for him to get every attempt because he works very hard to promote the meet, and he's gone through a lot of struggles in his training and in his competitions, and I wanted to see him do well, you know, and I was fine with the fact that he beat me. You know, that's okay, because I had a good day too. I did the best I could, and I don't feel like I needed to to defeat him to validate my existence, and so I was happy about that. Yeah, so that's kind of the takeaway from this meet. Now, what am I doing in the future? I'm not competing for a year. I'm going to compete next February at Raw Unity 8. That's the plan, anyway. So I'm going to move Heaven and Earth to... Is that an idiom? I don't know. I'm going to move something heavy to make that happen. And so my plan is to take the next year to just train, to try and go back and reevaluate and reestablish a technical base on all of my lifts, and to try and increase my hypothetical ceiling for the future as a lifter. Because what's gotten me to 1400, I don't think is going to get me to 1500. I think I'm going to have to do things a little bit differently in the future. So I'm going to experiment with technique for a little bit. I'm going to try and shore up my deadlift technique again. I'm going to go back to an approach similar to what I was doing last summer. I'm going to experiment with not breaking the bar so hard off the ground and rounding my back in the process. I'm going to experience with leverage and positioning, and I'm going to try and find something that I think will take me from a 600-pound deadlifter, or now a 562 deadlifter, to a 620 or a 630 or a 650-pound deadlifter. I'm going to take my bench grip, and I'm going to move my hands in a little bit, and I'm going to train it for a long time, and it's going to suck, and I already know it's going to suck, but I'm going to train it for like 6 months, and I'm going to see what happens with that. I'm going to see if I can increase my ceiling as a bencher if I take a more conventional approach. If it doesn't work out, then I'm going to revert back to what I was doing before. But this is a good time for me to take advantage of the fact that I don't have to be at 100% for a competition standard. You know, I don't have to be ready to bench 320. I can go in and only be a 300-pound bencher for a while. And if I have to, I can rebuild. But it's time for me to experiment, because the risk is worth the possible reward. For my squat, of the three, this change is going to stick. I'm going to move my feet out. I've already been experimenting with it this week. I'm not going to move my feet out a lot. Somewhere around shoulder width, a very normal squat stance is what I'm looking for. But I am going to move it out, and I am going to train it and train it and train it and train it. I am never going to squat. I don't think I'm going to squat narrow again. I don't see myself doing it even as a variation. I think I'm done with that, and I think it's time for me to take on a more conventional approach so that I can go from being a 523 squatter to a 550 squatter. The world record's 565. Why can't I be a world record holder? Maybe I can squat 570 one day. I got a lot of years left in this sport. I'm only 27, so I figure that gives me a good 13 years of just brutal discipline and constant training and all of the things that I think will make me better and the things that I enjoy and embrace in everyday life. And so I'm just going to work on widening my squat stance so that maybe I can increase my ceiling as a lifter. So I'm making some tough choices, and I'm doing some things that I don't necessarily want to do. I'm going to take one step backwards to take 2 steps forward. That's how I hope it works out. Next February, maybe I can total 1450. I'm not that far away right now if I get my deadlift in order. If I can pull 600 again, that's 1443 with what I brought on my squat and my bench. So I'm not that far away. It's going to take a lot of work, but I think I can do it. I'm looking forward to competing next year. I'm looking forward to taking a long break from competitions. I've been doing them once every 3 months or so since 2010, I believe. So it has been non-stop for a while now. It's time for me to take some time to increase my ceiling so that 1400 or 1405 isn't as far as I get, so that I get to 1500 and maybe even above that. So that's my plan. I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about. Keep checking in. I will have more videos for you very soon. I haven't been filming much this week. I have been training to differing intensities, but I'm going to start taking footage of my experiments, and I'm going to start posting that stuff. So anyway, thanks again for watching this. I know this turned out to be pretty long. It's probably going to have to be in 2 parts, but I appreciate you. If you stuck through it until the end, I appreciate you sticking through it. Keep checking in. More videos for you very soon.